for me, ideally, I'd like a lot of diversity. That's the one thing that I'm just not happy about being down here in Virginia in general, particularly in Chesterfield. Growing up in Connecticut, like I truly knew what it meant for there to be diversity. I mean, there were kids from Laos and kids that were from the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rican. I mean, it wasn't just the Spanish Mexican kids and the Asian kids. Like I knew what it meant. And what the shape of people's eyes and the inflection in the voice. Just everything. So for down here, for everything to be black, white, and Mexican, it just aggravates me, and I just don't think that our kids are really getting the full exposure to what the world looks like.
But we live in the 21st century. We know that students today have to be able to communicate strategically and well, and they are going to be working in job environments that are not the same as when they grew up or what they're accustomed to or familiar to. They have to be able to relate to other cultures and other backgrounds. So that way there is some trust that is built. And then you have a cohesiveness and a synergy in a workplace to be able to excel as the workplace. So for our children, I want them to be, understanding of the fact that they're, that the color of their skin is not the only color of the skin that they will see. And that they have to be able to work with people from all backgrounds and all races and treat them the same way as they would treat their friends or their family members. There's no different. The color of your skin, to me, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, we're people first. So I want my kids to understand that, from the diversity's perspective, that's me.
I'm not sheltered. And I don't want my children to be sheltered. I want them to understand that there's a world out there, a globe, not just Virginia, not just United States. There's oceans and other countries, that you have to go out and explore. But my job as their mom and as their father is to prepare them for the world and to make sure that they have as much experience to pull on, so when they're faced with some type of challenge, they're ready and they know they have the resources and or the abilities to be able to accomplish it. That's our duty. We have to make that happen for them.
I think growing up with people who are different than you is really important. If you as a child grow up with everyone who's the same, who have the same belief systems, which we all tend to group ourselves together, you don't ever learn to see that other side of the a different perspective. And living in someone else's shoes is really important as you move on in life.
If you grow up amidst a diverse community, you have more of an appreciation for your own uniqueness. And that really builds your own self-esteem, your own character, and that sort of thing. And so to not have that can be an impairment almost.
That's a really good point.
It is.
Growing up, I didn't go to a very diverse school. I was different from everyone else, and I felt that, and I'm hoping that my children go to a more heterogeneous school, but it also means to me socioeconomic status, so not just race, but religion, wealth. All of those things are really important to me when it comes to quote-unquote diversity.
Yeah, I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, Laura and I are on the same page about that. I think diversity is pretty important to us. I grew up in a very white area. It was there was a fair bit of socioeconomic diversity, but there was not a whole lot of diversity in terms of race, religion, and so that's something that is very appealing to me. I got a taste of that once I went to college and got to really experience what that does in terms of broadening your horizons and exposing you to different people and different viewpoints. And I found that to be very helpful and sort of helped me grow as a person.
I think that this is similar to probably David's idea that as I continued to move forward in my life and in my schools, I found that learning more about other people and other religions, and certainly as a world history teacher as well, it just makes life so much more rich and exciting and wonderful to have that experience with different people. And I think that starting that at an early age can only be beneficial with children.
Yeah.
I think that's one reason why both of us would prefer not to go the private school route for Sasha and Bryce, because we want to have them not only meet children of different ethnicities, but also of different income levels. I think that's important too. I don't want them to think that there's only one set group or one way of doing things in Richmond and in the state and in the world.